You know him from all the blogs and podcasts there are. Folks, 1,000,000 books. He's the man. Michael Shermer.
Skeptics. Do we have some skeptics here? All right, on the count of three, I want to hear you say skeptics rule. 1, 2, 3. What about science? 1, 2, 3. And what about reason? 1, 2, 3. This is going on the webpage. Thank you. That's too good. What an audience. So, 300 years ago, in a land about 3,000 miles away, a revolution in reason began, known as the Enlightenment. And it became then known as the Age of Reason. When Immanuel Kant was asked, what is the Enlightenment? He said, it is apere salude, dare to know. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. The Age of Reason then was an age when humanity was born again, not from original sin, but from original ignorance and dependence on authority. Never again shall we allow ourselves to be the intellectual slaves of those who would bind our minds with the chains of dogma and authority. In its stead, we use reason and science as the arbiters of truth and knowledge. It's science that gave us a tool to move out of magical thinking and superstition, intuition and emotion, subjective feelings. There's a method you can actually test to know if it's true or not. Instead of divining nature through some ancient book of authority, people went out to look for themselves. Instead of disease being the work of spirits and demons and supernatural forces, doctors began to look for natural causes. Instead of burning witches, after considering the spectral evidence given in books like the Malleus Maleficarum or the authoritative book of witch hunting, jurists began to look for more reliable evidence. Instead of human sacrifices to assuage the angry weather gods, naturalists began to make measurements of temperature, barometric pressure, and winds to create a science of climate. These are not God's tears or Satan's angry tears. Instead of enslaving people because they were a lesser species, we expanded our biological knowledge to include all humans as members of the species. Instead of treating women as inferiors because a certain book says it's man's right to do so, and by man I mean the gender man, we discovered natural rights that dictate all people should be treated equally. Instead of labeling homosexuality as an abomination or atheists and non-believers as immoral non-citizens, we are today engaged in a great legal struggle to make this final hurdle. We're there, we're almost there, not long. I predict within 2 decades, all this will be like black and white drinking fountains. That's too long, but we're getting there. This country was not built on religion or God, it was built on reason. And science. Democratic elections, in a way, are like a scientific experiment. You tweak the variables, it's called an election, you throw the bums out, you run the experiment for 4 more years, and you try again and see how it goes. That's science. It's not an accident that the Founding Fathers were all naturalists. They were scientists. Jefferson described democracy as an experiment. But let us also remember what Jefferson said, that eternal vigilance is the watchword of liberty. It is for reason, too. Too many people would still like to move us back to a medieval world of superstition and dogma. There's no guarantee that reason will triumph over ignorance. Nevertheless, while we're here, let's celebrate what we have accomplished over the centuries and note the progress that other great American said here about how the arc of the moral universe bends toward justice. Martin Luther King did not tell us what he thought was behind the moral arc. I think it is reason and science that's behind the moral arc. I'm tempted to ask rhetorically, what has reason ever done for us? Well, there's the roads. But besides the roads, what has reason ever done? Well, there's the sewers and the infrastructure and the electricity and the laws and rights and the Constitution. But besides the roads and sewers and so on and so on, what has reason ever done for us? Well, to that end, to our blessings of liberty, we need to thank reason. For our democracy, we need to thank reason. For our rights, we need to thank reason. For our prosperity, we should thank reason. And for our freedom, we need to thank reason. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.